So if you want to know how to make crazy samples and beats in the style of Lil Baby and LIL DURK, this is the perfect video for you. Yo guys, what's up and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how WHEEZY makes crazy samples and beats in the style of LIL DURK and Lil Baby completely from scratch. So first of all, I'm going to show you all the sample. Then after that, I will show you how I made the sample and how I arrange these different patterns. And while showing you all that, I will obviously show you which sounds I used, which VSTs I used, and how I built them patterns. Then after that, I will show you my whole mastering chain, and I got a new one, so y'all stay tuned for that. And then for the last thing, I will show you how I made a crazy beat to the sample, which y'all have just heard. So y'all make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to keep watching till the end, because there's a lot of sauce in this video right here. And if y'all want the top 20 contact banks video, please make sure to leave a like and a comment. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe as well. And check the link in the description for some free samples and for my kid store. And make sure to use code LUCALAND15 for 15% off of everything. I would really appreciate that. So y'all make sure to check them out. And with that being said, yeah guys, let's go. So I started off with Contact and I used the Sunroom upright piano, where I didn't change anything. I just left it on its default settings. And then as you can see right here, I basically just laid down this simple chord right here, which contains two notes, which is in C and in G. So I could have added this D sharp, which would make the whole chord, the whole minor chord. Then I went up to an D just for the root note right here. And then I just pitch it down by 4 and then by 5 with the snap to scale thing on right here. And as you can see right here, I laid down a pretty repetitive top line. It's not simple. I wouldn't say it's simple, but it's a very repetitive top line, which contains the C, D, G, D sharp, C, F, and G. And then obviously this high C, as you can see right here. And then for the transition, I laid down the D sharp and the D because it creates some tension, because these notes right here create some tension. It just makes it sound more dark. Then I had the C right here, and I just copied this over the whole time for the first 4 bars. Then I had this D sharp and this D again, put it to an G sharp after that, not to an C, just because I want the listener to know, okay, it goes down now. And what I did also was putting the C to an G sharp right here, as you can see. And I put the root note from the chord right here down as well to an G sharp. Then just copied it over and changed the G sharp to an G, and had a little transition right here, as you can see. It's from C to G sharp. And I know it maybe sounds very complex, and it probably is, but I just laid down some notes and look what sounded good together, and then just created a rhythm with it. And what I did as well was strumming these chords, which you can do with Alt and S, and then you just have this setting right here. And I randomized every single note, which you can do with Alt and R, and then just play with this knob right here. You can turn the bipolar option on, just so, as you can see, some notes go up, some notes go down with the velocity, but I just left it without the bipolar option. And the finished piano pattern is sounding like this. And then for the effects on this piano, which are very important as well, I have this fully parametric EQ2, where I just cut out some frequencies that I didn't really like. Then this simple Abbey Road Vinyl 0 with the default preset. I just turned down the noise, the crackle, and the clicks. Then this RC20 just for the distortion, the magnetic, and the EQ and the tone. Then this Valhalla Vintage Verb, where I had the mix to 40.5%, the decay to 2.25, the pre-delay to 5.65, and the low cut to 740 Hz. So just that the bassline doesn't get a reverb effect, because it most of the time sounds muddy. Then this simple soothe on its default settings, I just turned the knob from soft to hard. And then this simple EQ, where I just cut out some of the lows, ducked the frequency and the low mids, and ducked some of the highs just to make it sound a little bit more vintage. And I like this effect chain a lot. I put it on almost every of my pianos, so y'all make sure to copy that. Then for the next thing, I have this Clio vocal right here, and I pitch it down by 1 just to bring it into the key of C minor, because I was in C minor. I pitched it up by 12 afterwards. Then I lowered the volume by a little. I obviously put the mode to stretch, put it into time, and put the declicking mode to generic. And I had a reverb automation, just because there was a lot of reverb in this vocal on these parts right here. So I just put an automation right there. Just that it gets even. And that's all I did for this vocal, and the vocal is sounding like this. And for the effects on this vocal, I have this reverb, which I automated. Then this simple reverb, where I played with the wet, the stereo separation, and the decay. Then this simple soothe on its default settings, I turned the knob from soft to hard and the depth to 4.7. Then this simple EQ, where I just cut out a lot of the lows and some of the mids and some of the highs. And I had it 12% in stereo. Then I had this guitar riff, which just sounds like an accent, and I pitch it down by 4 just to bring it into the key. Then I put the mode to stretch, the declicker mode to generic, and I put it on the third mixer track, but I will show you all the effects after I played it. And the finished guitar riff is sounding like this. And for the effects on this guitar riff, I have this RC20 just for the wobble, the EQ and the tone. Then this simple thresher where I had the mid-hat to 19% and the hi-hat to 32%. Then this Valhalla vintage verb where I tweaked the mix, the decay and the low cut. This simple soothe completely on its default settings. Then this simple EQ where I cut out all of the lows and like half of the mids just because I didn't like these lows in this like accent or like phrase. And I added 27% in stereo. Then for the bass line, I used the LA Custom C7 piano with the hard preset. And I think I just left it how it was. And as you can see, it's nothing special, it's just the bass notes on the root notes from the piano. I didn't even randomize the velocities, but the finished bass line is sounding like this. And for the effects on this bass, I have this simple soothe on its hard setting and its depth to 6.6. Then this decapitator on its default preset, I just played with the drive, the tone and the style. Then this simple EQ where I just cut out some of the muddy lows, ducked the frequency that I didn't really like, and I cut out some of the high highs, and I added 100% in mono. And then for my mastering chain, I have this Abbey Road vinyl stereo with the preset I can't pronounce, but I turn off the noise, the crackle and the clicks. Then this RC20 with the Luca could be a pet preset, but I tweaked it a bit. But if you want to get these presets, make sure to check out the link in the description. The RC20 bank is in my Exoplanet kit, so yeah, make sure to get that with the discount code LucaLand15. And I basically just had on the wobble, the distortion, the magnetic and the EQ. Then this L1 limiter stereo just to make the sample louder. This soundshifter pitch 0 from Waves where I pitched the whole sample down by 1. This hyper chorus with these settings. Then this simple EQ where I just ducked some of the like lows and low mids. And this simple soothe with the setting to soft and the depth to 3.0 just to like clean the sample up a little bit. And that's my whole mastering chain. And now I'll show y'all the sample with and without the mastering chain. So first of all, this is a sample without the mastering chain. And then after rendering the sample out with the mastering chain, I pitched it up by 1, normalized it, put the declicker mode to generic and the mode to stretch, and now this is the sample with the mastering chain. So now for the beat, the first thing I obviously did was drag it in the sample and I pitched it up by 1, put the mode to stretch, the trim to 100% and the declicker mode to generic. And then I started off with the beautiful hi-hat and I just went into my new Arcane kit, which will drop on the 2nd February. So y'all make sure to stay tuned for that. And I went to hi-hat midis and I think I picked the first one. I just pressed Ctrl and L to make the notes longer and that's all I did, and the hi-hat pattern is sounding like this. Then I used the holding snare out of the kit and I just normalized it and laid down this pretty simple pattern, which is like the basic clap pattern, which sounds like this. Then this simple openhat pattern with the Rex openhat. I basically just laid the 808 notes with the openhat just to make them hit even harder. Y'all try that. And it sounds like this. And now for the most important thing, which is the 808 pattern. I basically just laid down a pretty simple pattern. It looks complex, but it's really not. I just placed some notes and see if they would fit, and at the end they did fit. So I just laid down this pattern on the root notes from the piano sample, or like from the bass line, and that's all I did for this beat. It's really simple, but that's how it is sometimes. And the finished beat with the 808 and everything else is sounding like this. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel. And if you want a top 20 contact banks for 2024 video, make sure to leave a like as well and to let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to check out my kit store, which is called LucaLand. The link for that is in the description. And use code LucaLand15 for 15% off of everything. I would really appreciate that. So y'all make sure to go crazy. And as I said, if you want a top 20 contact banks video for 2024, y'all go crazy on this video, just that I know. And with that being said, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for watching till the end. And yeah guys, see y'all.